dreams that you can don't do skid you don't do skid you want don't do skid you can.
What's up, y'all? It's CJ Moto and we're back. Say hi, Augie. No? She's not having it today. Anyhow, went to the post office because this Hudy bearing removal tool right here, this thing's sweet. It did not get delivered to my house because it was signature required and I was away for the weekend. So went and picked that sucker up, and I'm gonna go home and try to do a little bit of bearing maintenance on this thing. So let's check out how this Hudy tool works and get these J&T ceramic bearings out of the mailbox and see how they fit in this OS Drake motor. Get this thing all freshened up. It had I bought the motor used in the kit that I got in my Nitro Truggy, and it had about 4.5 gallons or 5 gallons on it. So I put about another half gallon on it. And then during that last day main where my receiver pack came disconnected, I also noticed when I was rocking the flywheel that it felt kind of gritty. So I pulled the motor apart, and sure as heck, the large rear bearing actually went out. So anyhow, I'll go ahead and post this video up, and we'll see how this thing works. CJ Moto out.
Get him. Why? Ah.
Our brand new J&T ceramic clutch bearing, rear bearing and front bearing. And we're going to go ahead and get these old bearings out of here. And so all we have to do for the first step is take this piece, go on there like that, and then we want to put this little guy on here like this. Stick this all directly through there. Put this collet so it has the relief portion like that. And take this, thread it down. Go ahead and tighten that down until you hear the bearing pop out of there. This tool is awesome. This is the Hudy Ultimate Engine Toolkit Bearing Puller and Presser. And it works for 0.12 and 0.21 motors. So you keep going, you feel it release. Take this off. There's your front bearing out. Okay. So now this next one's a little trickier, but it's not bad. You take this one and you go the opposite direction of these arrows, and then you stick that collet in there on the inside race, so it's going to basically go like this on the inside race of that bearing that's in there. You stick it in that inside race, make sure it's seated down real good on that inside race, and then go ahead and tighten down your screw here all the way snug. Once that's snug, screw this large one to where it's flush with that, and then back this off. And while you're backing that off, you can look down in there and make sure it's pulling the bearing out, which it is. Slowly pulls the bearing right out of where it's at. Just keep going till it releases, and then boom, there's your rear bearing. Go ahead and reverse this screw that clamps down on the race, and boom, you got both your bearings out. That easy. Now we can show how to put them back in. Alright, so let's cover installing. We're actually going to go with the used bearings because I'm still messing around here learning. But we got these used bearings. So you go ahead and take this, you put this piece on here like so, and then you put your bearing on here like that, this bearing like this. This goes through here. This bearing goes through here with the seal facing outward. Goes right on that. You take this and you actually flip it the opposite way as when you remove the bearing. Put this on, thread it down, and you're just going to tighten all this down until it bottoms out. Just keep going till it bottoms all the way out. Don't overdo it. you'll feel it right there. Just bottom it out real good. Back everything off. Take that out, and there we go. We've got our rear bearing there and our front bearing there completely installed. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and install this new one, but little side note, what I did was I sprayed this whole motor down with Simple Green after I removed the carburetor and the pinch bolt and all the O-rings from the motor. Sprayed it down with Simple Green, brushed the outside off real good with this brush, cleaned it out with water, hot water, for like 2-3 minutes, and then I took the whole motor and I sprayed it down with WD-40 like liberally after it was completely clean, and then I just wiped the insides of it out with the shop towels, and then I give it a real good inspection, make sure there's nothing in there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that process up, and then we'll go ahead and install these brand new bearings. Alright, our motor's nice and super clean. Now we're going to take our brand new bearings. Make sure you got your new ones and not your other ones. I'm going to take some Tri-Flow lubricant, put a little bit in the balls here, just to have a little extra lube. That's what she said. Spin those around, make sure they feel good. Now you take this, and you put this piece on here, okay? And then you're going to stick your bearing with the balls facing your back plate, like that. You got a ball end and a cage end. Make sure your rear bearing have the balls facing your back plate. So that's going to be like this. Now you slip all that in through there. Now you slip this one, seal facing outwards, on there like that. And then you reverse this piece that captured the outer bearing last time. You reverse it, put it like that. Get it nice and flat on that bearing. And then you're just going to spin this down. And now it's going to press both your bearings in simultaneously. So you take this and just turn it. It's going to start pressing those bearings in there. And you just keep going until everything bottoms out real nice. Whew, these are tighter than those last ones. Okay, nice and bottomed out. Don't over tighten them. Release it. Back it off. Disassemble all this and make sure everything looks nice and seated. That looks perfect. So now you got that front end bearing, you got that brand new seal on there. You got your rear end bearing. Let's get a good look at that real quick. So right there is what you're looking for after you reassemble and press both the bearings in. You got it nice and seated down in there. You can tell that it's seated the whole way against that back piece. Then on the opposite side, you got your seal facing the outside like that. So now you're ready to reassemble your motor. Nice and clean. Got all the crud off the outside of it, and I just got a nice layer of WD-40. This is really the only time I personally use WD-40. I don't like it for bearings. I don't like it to lubricate bearings. I always use my Tri-Flow for that, but I do like it to dispel moisture. So I just go ahead and put it all over this motor after I clean it out with the Simple Green in the water. After I dry it, and then I put the WD-40. That'll dispel any moisture in there. Thank y'all for watching. I did enjoy making another video for y'all, as I always do. Please don't forget to crush that subscribe button, like and share this video, and I'll see y'all at the track. CJ Moto out.